Since our college time, we all have learned that ethical tone of an organization is set at the top, which means, you know, it is the initiatives which are taken by the top leadership which sets a corporate culture in the organization. For example, take the top management. Top management makes the policies in an organization which gives push to a family culture in an organization. For example, managing director or board of directors, CEO of the company cares about all the employees down the line. For example, if managers of various departments, are being taken care of by the top management like a family, like a father treats his children, caring about them, helping them in their adversities, in their personal problems or their personal financial crisis. For example, take this manager, he or she suffers a financial loss due to certain sort of investment, personal investment. Or take another example, if he or she has marriage of her daughter, his or her daughter, and he or she cannot afford that marriage. So the top management, for example, board of directors, acknowledges that and give financial aid to this management in whatever ways possible. That manager will make sure in adversities that he stay with the top management. For example, take the example of the lockdown. Right now we are going through, I would say, a problematic situation where even companies are suffering losses. So when companies are already suffering losses, in this case, in this kind of corporate culture, which represents a family culture, I would rather say, what people would do, like for example, this manager, since he will always remember that during his contingency, during his problematic times, it was the top management which helped him out. So, for example, if the company is running under the losses, this manager will make sure that his company is treated like his family. So he will, for example, give the top management idea that he's ready to give up his own salary if the company is suffering losses, because that sense of belongingness is there, isn't it? Belongingness. So I think whether it's a personal relation or it's a professional relation, whenever there's a sense of belongingness, whenever there's a sense of sort of, I would say, if somebody take the company as their family, so basically that makes sure that company prospers even in the difficult times, isn't it? So that's what a good corporate family culture represents. So let me also give you another example of this. So right, like I told you that, for example, our top management forms the policies, transfer it to the managerial level on the second, I would say, tactical management level. So same policies or same culture, this manager will also forward it to the lower management. So basically what that family culture will ensure that each level of employee take care of the employee of the lower levels. So basically what we would end up in, that a company would have multiple leaders, isn't it? This manager who considers company as his family, will sort of treat his lower management employees like his family, isn't it? So this family culture works in a chain. So similarly, the lower management, when they are taken care of in their adversities, they will also give their best to the company, because that sense of belongingness will be there. That sense of service would develop, because when you talk about the family culture, the sense of service is there. Your father does not really ask you whether you are doing something in return of whatever he is doing for you. He never demands you. All he believes in is selfless service, serving his own child. So that's what a family culture represents, isn't it? So let me give you a perfect example which I recently came to. I actually did not know about it, because I personally feel there's a lot of negativity spreads much faster than the positive things. So I just came to a positive example. There was a in 2611 attacks, you all know about it, isn't it? So during the 2611 attacks, Taj Palace Hotel, terrorists attacked that hotel. They sort of entered the hotel. Hotel had around I would say 700 people. 700 people were present in the hotel. So what really happened, that the staff members and the employees of that Taj group knew the ways through which they could have escaped themselves. They could have saved themselves. They knew the secret exit points of that hotel. But you know what they did? All the employees, that includes the waiters as well, some of them of the age group of 24, some of them of the age group around 28, they made sure that they served their customers. They made sure that the customers, his guests who are in the hotel, they are taken care of. So they thought about the customers first, their guests first, before their own lives. So they knew that if they were gonna leave the place, then there would be nobody who could assist the authorities on the exit points to save the customers who are hostages, to the guests who are hostages. So that Taj employees, which include the manager of the Taj as well, they have the culture. Even though Taj is owned by the Tata Group, we all know, they have the culture of family values. So Taj Group, what they did, their employees, they made sure that all the consumers, until and unless all the guests are evacuated, they never left the place. Even when they had the choice to save themselves during the emergencies, we all know that it is the basic instinct to save ourselves first. But they didn't. Because the Taj Group, owned by Ratan Tata, believes in selfless service. They consider not even their employees but their customers as their family. As we all know, our culture teaches us, that Vasudhaiva kuthumbkam, which means this world is one family. So the Taj Group stays with that principle. So there was a manager of Taj Group, manager of that hotel. He made sure that his family was stuck in the 6th floor of the Taj Hotel, which included his 2 children and 1 wife. So he made sure that he stays. He did not really cared about his family. He could have easily evacuated his own family first. He did not care about his own family. He cooperated with the authorities. He did not really sort of made sure that his family is evacuated first. He helped out authorities. He helped out the current people who were stuck, as a result of which he lost his 2 daughters and his wife. Just imagine the kind of self-sacrifice that manager of the Taj Hotel Palace did. So this is what I would say. This is what, when leader of an organization, who's the leader of that group of hotels, Ratan Tata, isn't it? Ratan Tata believes in his integrity and in his principles. He believes in the family culture. That culture is communicated down the line as well to the downer employees. So here, employees of the Taj Hotel that day, all of the employees worked as leaders, individual leaders, to evacuate the hostages from that place. They helped out the authorities. Without them, for the authorities, it wouldn't have been possible to evacuate that many people, isn't it? So that Taj Group, what Ratan Tata does, he hires people on the basis of their attitude, not their grades. So that represents the culture of his organization. So that's what I wanted to convey, that when you sort of make the family culture in an organization, that family culture increases the sense of belongingness of all the employees, at the result of which each employee gives his 100%. So that's how an organization or the company is built up and made. And we all know that goodwill, the company which has the good ethics, principles, corporate governance, goodwill, all these things, come out in the form of long-term financial benefits, isn't it? Goodwill is also an asset of the company. We all have studied that, isn't it? So family culture, I would say, is very important for an organization. That's it. I hope you liked this video. I hope you are satisfied with whatever I shared. Just share all the positive things in the world. Thank you.